Hi guys, welcome to Screenhops. I'm your host this week, oddly enough, because Asia's out, and this is podcast number 9. Yeah, we're on 9.
Is today the 11th?
Is today the 11th?
I don't know, but that'd be... No, it's November 9th.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. We should have done this 2 months ago?
Yeah,
2 months ago.
9. Too bad we didn't do the 6th episode on the 6th.
Yeah.
In 2006.
Oh, that would have been perfect for horror stuff.
Been so metal. Anyway, getting right into it, we've got a couple great stories today. The first thing we want to talk about is we're going to get into the news. Nintendo's Miiverse has finally shut down as of this past week. So, the Miiverse shutting down. And I'll start with you, Tony, because you're the most hardcore Nintendo fan here. Big deal, not a big deal? How do you feel about it?
So, I could see why they shut it down, because there was, issues with certain posts being posted on it. They were just like, yeah, not anymore. So, I could see them pulling the plug, but at the same time, I myself never really used it, but I did go on it a lot to, see other people's, art. Posts and enthusiasm with what they posted and stuff like that, and it was just so cool, and it was just, in my opinion, a great way to just talk about the games that I enjoyed playing with other like-minded people.
Mm-hmm. Val, what about you?
So I'm not really entirely sure what the Miiverse was. I saw pictures of it and I saw what it was kind of, but I didn't entirely get it. But from how it shut down, I can understand that, because Nintendo is big on, being family-friendly. And when you have something major like that, yeah. You don't need to say much more. But, yeah, I feel like it's more for Nintendo that it shut down. It's more because Nintendo's always been family-friendly.
Yeah.
It could have gone on longer if they'd made separate sections, maybe, for, adults and for children. But that would have been over quickly, probably, too.
So, for me, when I think about the Miiverse, man, it is the art. Some of the most incredible posts I've ever seen. And, the amount of talented work, when I turn on my Wii U and, see those posts, it was incredible. I thought it was something that
I could
Nintendo...
never spend that much time.
Oh, yeah.
Me neither. And you guys know, I'm an artist. It's incredible, some of the stuff churned out. And I thought, man, this is really building a great community. I don't really think Nintendo would ever shut this down. They did. They decided to not carry it over to the Switch. So let me throw this to either of you guys, whoever wants to pick it up. Most likely it'll be Tony, since he's got the most experience with it. But why do you think the Miiverse was so important to Nintendo fans?
Well,
because it's a big deal right now.
Yeah. Just as I've said, it was a great way for people to just talk to others about the things that they enjoyed doing and stuff like that. And like you mentioned, the amount of time that people put into the art that they do, and it is just so crazy. People don't want to lose that experience.
Yeah, and you can't really find it anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's mainly because it gave a connection, to the community and those around you, even though it was a mainly single-player platform.
Mm-hmm.
It gave that connection to other people where you could just log in, fucking chat a little bit, and then move on. But I think that's mainly why it was a big deal. It's not necessarily because of, the community that it had, but just the overall Nintendo community as a whole could just connect there.
Yeah, it's that connection, man. It's so strong.
Yeah.
Do you think other parts of the big three might pick up on this, where Nintendo has dropped the ball and said, no more Miiverse for us? Do you guys see Sony or Microsoft doing something on their consoles?
I could see Sony maybe trying it. However, because Nintendo dropped the ball on it, it's probably going to just scare Xbox and PlayStation away from that, to just avoid stuff like that entirely.
I could see Sony doing it.
Yeah, I could see Sony doing it.
Sony's a fairly big risk taker. They don't take risks as huge as Nintendo, where Nintendo's just kind of like, we're gonna go from square controller, why not have 3 sticks? Nintendo's always just been that, and Sony's always been a safe player, but Microsoft's always been super safe. Like, even in their ads, they show it being super safe, where they advertise Call of Duty a lot. So, Sony, yes. Microsoft, no.
I feel like in a way they're already doing it. Like, that's what the clubs things are.
So, definitely.
I feel like it's kind of like a Miiverse thing.
Yeah.
Although the thing about it is, I feel like it's not as unified as what the Miiverse was.
No.
Well, Sony does have those groups that you can join.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about Microsoft.
Microsoft has clubs.
Microsoft has
Sony's
clubs.
got groups.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like the difference between like that is just the fact that
I feel like it's more isolated.
It is.
Yeah, Xbox and Sony are kind of just like isolated, whereas Nintendo's more just like about everyone as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So let's move on. The next thing I want to talk about is World of Warcraft. This past week, they announced their next big expansion. Okay. Thoughts? Like, have you guys ever been World of Warcraft players? Or
I have played World of Warcraft. Like, I've played it with you.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good lord, I can't remember. It's been a long time.
I didn't play that long because I did get bored of it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
A new expansion, yeah, it seems okay, but I feel like WoW kind of just needs to move away from WoW itself and make a completely new MMO.
Okay.
I think that would be pretty cool.
Val, what do you think?
I think Blizzard needs to make a new MMO. WoW kind of has this thing where it came out, it peaked, and then it stagnated. Expansion comes out, it peaks, and that's just how it's been ever since. Is it peaks, dead,
falls.
peaks,
It's just
dead.
slowly becoming more and more outdated as well, even with the
graphical upgrades.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, another thing is that since, like, this is something that a lot of the ex-players actually complained about from what I saw, is players who come into it, they get super excited and then they overhype it, and that always pushes people away. And 2 new ex-players always complain about how once you complete...
It's not as good as this.
Once you complete an expansion, it just the world is dead because you don't really have anything more to do. You kind of you did it, you got the world, congratulations.
Well, as a WoW player who's played pretty much since vanilla and pretty heavily, except for recently, but every time there's an expansion that comes out, I buy it.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker. Just paste it on my forehead. What I will say about the last one is the last one's endgame content, because usually what I do is I level up to max. Like, I'll start a new character, level up to max, because I'm one of those freaks in nature that loves the leveling experience. Like, I love going through the areas and experience things. But what grinding. Yeah. Once I get it up to max, it's kind of dead to me, because I'm like, I don't really have anything else to do. I don't want to do PvP, and I don't want to do raids. Like, my life ain't that serious. But the last expansion had these things where it was kind of like you were raiding, but you weren't. Like, things would activate in the zones that you and any other player in the world could go to and get epic loot. Almost the same level of loot that you could get from a raid. You just walk up and beat the ever-living hell out of it, or fight against the other class in order to achieve an objective. And I thought that was so engaging, and I got totally hooked on it. And I would say for this expansion, if they expand upon that endgame thing that makes you want to keep getting more armor and upgrading a guy and stuff like that, I think they really have something here. But I'm kind of in the camp with you guys where it's dude, this MMO is freaking old. Yeah. And you just can't do much more to it. Yeah. I mean, this came out in 2004, 2005? 2004. I mean, I remember working for GameStop and buying it at the time, dude. It is freaking old. Yeah. It's dated and it's hard to get engaged with what it is there.
To be fair to the game, the only experience I've had is from playing demo. So I don't have that fair of a reputation with it because it was only the demo. But even when I was younger, like I went back and retried it recently, but when I was younger even, I tried it at a friend's house and I was just kind of like, this is okay, but it's not...
You just weren't feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing that they had announced for the raids in this was that some of the raids will probably play like the original Warcraft RTS. Like there will be elements of these raids where it plays like the RTS World of Warcraft, like Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, Orcs versus Humans. What are you guys' thoughts on that? I mean, I know that we're all we're strategy players, like we love strategy games. Would that entice you to maybe jump into the World of Warcraft?
It might entice me to give it a try, and if I don't like it, just hang it up.
Okay.
But
it's something I'd wait for.
It's something you wait for?
I'd wait for a review, and honestly, even for the reviews, I'd be entirely skeptical, because of RTS mixed with an MMO kind of sounds like it would be...
wishy-washy.
Especially with Blizzard, because they've been fairly wishy-washy with games recently, especially with StarCraft and Overwatch. It's kind of been eh.
Yeah. And then lastly, World of Warcraft Classic is announced from Blizzard. And if you guys sound a little clueless, which let me elaborate, and for you guys at home, World of Warcraft Classic it is vanilla World of Warcraft. Okay. So World of Warcraft before Burning Crusade, before the Lich King, before all the expansions, just the core World of Warcraft where, Paladin is only on the Alliance and Shaman is only on the Horde, and it's got me hyped. Like as a classic WoW player, like I'm hyped. I can't tell you how many times I've played on private servers to experience WoW Classic all over again, and it's a lot more unforgiving than current World of Warcraft.
I heard that it was a lot more unforgiving.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I kind of want, because I've got .hack. I want an MMO like that. Yeah. Where it's fairly grindy and you have that, like...
Star Ocean.
Wait, what?
Or no, Phantasy Star.
Yeah, Phantasy Star.
I'm not thinking
Phantasy
of Star
Star
Ocean.
is similar, but not entirely like
it's still Phantasy Star is not like...
.hack has it has the grinding, it has the equipment, it has teammates, and it has those playfields and PKing, and that sounds like it's like perfect MMO. It has everything that an MMO should have to be perfect, and weirdly, the only MMO that really has that is RuneScape. But no, I'm not really into that too much.
I honestly, like, as someone who played Vanilla WoW, like, I think you guys would really like it. Ooh, that's my stomach. Good Lord.
So we caught that on video.
We definitely caught that on the mic.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's something that you guys should check out.
Yeah, that definitely is something I would check out. Is it free, or...?
They haven't said. They haven't said. Most likely with something as big as this...
Yeah, they're probably going to make it
$5 maybe.
Definitely Blizzard would make it.
Or, what would be interesting, let me pose this question to you guys. Do you think they would incorporate it with the normal WoW subscription? Like, you pay your $15 and you've got access to both.
Yeah,
and do you think that would pump up WoW?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that would.
Because you're getting basically 2 games for the price of 1.
I already know 2 people who are just been completely addicted to WoW, so it's... Yeah.
Which 2?
You wouldn't know them.
Oh, okay.
So let's... Awkward. So moving away from video games and moving over to the big news this week, Disney in talks with Fox on acquiring 21st Century Fox, which means that Disney would own all the Marvel properties again, so except for Spider-Man, which is owned by Sony right now.
Yeah.
But they would own Fantastic Four, they would own X-Men, they would own all of those. Man, my stomach is going crazy. They would own all those properties, and so like movies, shows, things like that. The up and coming New Mutants movie. I mean, that would become theirs.
For that.
It looks good. So, come to find out, like later on this week, we found out that the talks were done. Like that, it actually didn't go through.
Okay.
However, when the rumor was going around this week, Fox's stock jumped up 15%,
Really?
and so everyone's thinking that whoa, Disney and Fox might get back into the talks again because Fox needs some money right now.
Right.
They're not doing so hot.
Yeah.
Right.
And Disney has a ton of money.
Right.
And Fox needs that cash,
Well, I mean,
that
it's
capital.
Disney.
Yeah, because their films are kind of bleh right
Yeah.
now.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you guys this: Disney buying Fox, is it a good move? Starting with you, Val.
Yeah, it's a good move. Be a good move by Fox because Fox would actually have money to do stuff. It's a good move by Disney because then they could finally incorporate that in with the Avengers and all of that. So it would be a good move on both sides.
What about you, Tony?
I could see why, the money aspect would be a decent move. But, in terms of, say I'm the owner of Fox, and then you're the owner of Disney, and you basically come over here and buy me just outright, you basically have the control of how, certain stuff is being done at that point. And I just don't think it would be the same, essentially.
It definitely would not be the same.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you guys like the X-Men and Fantastic Four separated from the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I like the recent X-Men movie they've been doing.
Was that Age of Apocalypse? Or, no, it was
Logan.
Well, Logan was incredible.
Logan was great. But then before that was
Apocalypse.
The Apocalypse one, which that was really good too.
Yeah.
I feel like Fox has been stepping it up a little bit on their Marvel side. I'm not sure how. It would be very different if it coincided with Disney, and I'm really hesitant because I'm not sure how that would affect anything.
I'm hesitant because it's Avengers and all of that has fairly been family friendly, and Logan and X-Men definitely was not.
What about Deadpool?
And of course Deadpool was not either. So it's more the fact that if Disney does incorporate it, there might be family friendly versions of those, and that would kill those series entirely. So Disney would have to actually make R-rated content, and that would be interesting to see how Disney does it.
That was going to be my big issue.
Yeah.
Is you look at a movie like Logan, which freaking incredible, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean that.
I cried.
Who didn't? Yeah. Oh my god. Just pick a scene, and then you look at another incredible movie like Deadpool.
Yeah.
Deadpool is just so damn funny, but that kind of humor would not fly under the Disney label. My thoughts is the only thing they could possibly do is Disney creating a separate label to put them on. But even with that, I just don't see them investing all that money for just two styles of film.
Yeah.
I would love to see X-Men and Fantastic Four in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I just don't know how it would work out. And Deadpool
really
most certainly would be
Four.
gone.
Oh yeah.
You don't like Oh, sorry. You don't like Fantastic Four? Dude, I love Fantastic Four. Dude, I'll let you borrow my big what the hell's it called? Omnibus of Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Fantastic Four is cool, but the movies they've been doing are...
Oh yeah,
The movies are trash.
obviously.
Oh god, I wanted to like the most recent Fantastic Four so badly.
Yeah.
I wanted to like it so badly because I'm such a huge fan, but I could not. It sucked so bad. I left that theater going, what the fuck did I just watch? This is horrible.
I wouldn't even have sat through the first 5 minutes. I would have just left.
It was so bad. Then my next question relating to this is, if you guys were Kevin Feige and, you were a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and you were responsible for incorporating X-Men and Fantastic Four, how would you do it? Val, sorry.
Honestly, it would be difficult because they're so similar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the both of them have had near apocalypse or actual apocalypse scenarios. So, the way they could do it is they could just do a little, like, have it where they knew about them all this time, but they just kind of left those specific situations to them, and Avengers had their own specific, like, say at the end of a new Marvel Avengers movie, at the very end they showed chat logs between, like, Stark and Xavier. Like, that could be an easy tie-in. That, super easy. But other than that, I don't really see how, because it's just so difficult to...
And different.
Yeah.
Tony.
So, there's a lot of issues, because you've got... Even if you do something like that, you just have so many, like,
plot holes.
Contradictions, so many plot holes, that you just wouldn't be able to, like, do it right. You would have to essentially rework the whole thing. And to get it essentially to, like, if you're trying to put it in, like, Fox's style of, like, R-rated type thing, you would have to do very minimal, like, baby steps, essentially, to, like, feel some things out, which Disney's been doing, like, with Doctor Strange and some of the other movies, like Spider-Man Homecoming. That was fucking great. Especially at the end where our Aunt May, like, finds out and she's like, what the fuck? Yeah. And it's fucking hilarious. So they've been doing their, like, little baby steps, which is pretty cool. And essentially just, you know, feel things out and see where things go from then.
Yeah, I think if I was in Fahey's position, I think what I would do is scrap everything from Fox. I would scrap it all. Have that big fight with Thanos.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, like, you know, the Avengers are, like, beaten up, and it's like, we can't do anymore. And then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, woo! And then, like, the Avengers are like, who the hell are you guys? And it'd be like, we're the X-Men. Or we're the Fantastic Four.
It'd just be so weird, because they'd either have to scrap absolutely everything.
Yeah, you either all in or all out.
Or you just fucking do a mini, like, show. Do it, just, like, show that they're communicating, but show that they aren't, like, trying to intrude on each other.
Disney's got the their animated series, which is pretty, like, it's okay. It's definitely not the best in terms of, like, the DC's animated series, because DC animated series is amazing.
Yeah.
DC live action.
Yeah, but I mean,
we'll see, because Wonder Woman was good.
Wonder Woman was fantastic.
Yeah, we'll see how
Disney's, like, Marvel animated stuff aren't too bad, and I guess that's kind of like where you could try to do what you were saying.
I will say that Disney XD, the Deadpool and Spider-Man episodes, those are pretty funny. They have little interludes where Deadpool shows up on the Spider-Man show and nearly says something like R-rated, and then Spider-Man's like, no, you can't do that!
So, talking about Marvel, Brian Michael Bendis, do you guys know who he is?
No.
Okay, so this guy was, like, kind of the lead creative talent in Marvel for the past 20 years.
Okay.
Oh, right.
He created the Ultimate Universe.
Okay.
He created the Ultimate Universe, like Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, all that stuff. I mean, this guy was, like, the backbone of Marvel. He has signed an exclusive contract, like an exclusive, like, for a couple-year contract with DC. So this is, like, a major blow to Marvel. And the contract is for at least a couple years. So, as the main creative lead for Marvel for over pretty much the past 2 decades, what do you think this does for Marvel properties? Like movies, comic books, and video games. Having this, like, big guy, you know, that was, like, really essential in modernizing Marvel.
I could just see Stan Lee having a breakdown.
As long as they work off of what he's made, they should be fine. But the problem is that trying to emulate someone's style with a group of people, one person, a committee.
Take GT for example.
Yeah, it won't work well. So they need to slowly incorporate their own style while dragging his on. Would be the best way to do it.
And people will just be like, "Oh, it's not as good as this guy's
Yeah.
stuff." Well, of course not, because it's a different person.
I think, honestly, like, and I'm a big comic book reader, as you guys know, like, I think the big issue right now is, like, Marvel needs a reboot. And but the thing is Marvel doesn't do reboots.
Yeah.
They don't do it at all.
Right.
And I think that's why the Ultimate Universe was so popular, and it's sad to see it dead. Because it was like a modern Marvel.
Yeah.
Without the, like, continuity chains on it.
Right.
And Marvel won't get rid of the continuity, and they won't do reboots, whereas DC will.
Yeah.
Like, DC's willing to try any
They've
of that.
done reboots before.
DC will, Marvel won't.
Yeah.
Sega does what Nintendo.
Do you guys... Well, how do you think DC will benefit from having such a creative talent?
Maybe they'll actually have live action movies.
Their movies might be actually pretty decent. I mean, it's really just kind of too early to say. Because it's just, like, you don't know what's going to happen.
Okay.
Like, for all you know, you could just write shit on a paper, like, just actual shit.
Moving on. So Mario Odyssey, moving back to Nintendo. Mario Odyssey's out, and it's welcomed with great acclaim. Everybody loves it. You know what I mean? It's awesome. What do you guys think is next for Mario? And, you know, what would you do if you were Miyamoto for Mario's next project?
Oh, fuck. If I was Miyamoto, I'd commit suicide, because there's nothing else you can do.
Jesus Christ.
No, but, seriously, that's really a tough question, because, man, I don't know. Like, it's just really hard trying to think of, like, some crazy, like, thing that, because, you know, you've got Mario 64, which is just the basic, like, run around, a little bit open world. Then you've got Super Mario Sunshine, which was this new thing. You've got this fucking, like, water thing that, like, does shit and clears paint. Then you've got Super Mario Galaxy, which completely, like, off the charts, like, fucking, you're going through fucking different planets, and it's pretty cool. Then you've got Mario Odyssey, and you fucking use a cap and you throw it around and you become different enemies, and it's just, it is...
What do you think's next, man?
I don't know.
You don't know? You're just so puzzled? You're just like, I can't...
Ugh, like, there's no pattern. There's no pattern.
Oy vey!
Where's the pattern?
It's kind of like I said, Nintendo is just kind of like...
They just do random shit.
Three-pronged controller, screen on the controller.
Yeah, they just do random fucking
Nintendo
shit.
Nintendo just doesn't care, so it's kind of like...
They experiment the holy hell out of everything, and whatever works, works. Whatever doesn't, just dies.
It's going to be hard from taking over enemies with a cap and throwing that cap around and having like 2-player with it to something else. They could expand upon Odyssey, but
I don't think they should.
they shouldn't. That would be like Galaxy 2. Galaxy 2 isn't really talked about.
Yeah.
But
do you think they will? Do you think they'll make an Odyssey 2?
Probably, with the huge reception that they got with Mario Odyssey 1. In my opinion, they probably shouldn't. They should just leave Mario stuff alone for just a good year or two. Like, I love Odyssey as much as I do, but they definitely need to, like, step away from Mario and try to, like, focus more on something completely different and off the charts.
Mario, at this state in the whole of Nintendo's game, Mario's just kind of become this repetitive... Every year something's released, and it's had those really good ones, like the first Super Mario, 64, Galaxy, Odyssey. All of those have been really good, but then between those, nobody remembers them. And it's always about decades.
I mean, I remember them. Like,
I think if you own a Nintendo,
you remember them, and if you own a Nintendo,
the whole
you do.
Mario and Rabbids thing was really cool too. That was the strategy one, like Fire Emblem.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool. If they did something like that, but like without Rabbids, that would be pretty cool.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Our next fun question is, what is the most treasured video game item you own? Like, we're nerds. We have memorabilia, like...
Alright, let me just...
you just go over there and grab it? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's show and tell. Tell me about it.
Dude, that's fucking
Why'd you bring it in?
I don't know, it's just like... Only other thing I have is Nier Automata soundtrack, and I do love that, but it's... I've ranted about Nier enough, so it's pretty obvious that it'd be something Nier. So... I don't know, just like, this is final boss, so it's also just that...
That
badass quality.
What about you, Tony?
I don't really have any, like...
Is it even
video game?
You don't have like T-shirts or?
Well, I mean, I've got plenty of T-shirts.
Maybe you got like a favorite T-shirt. It's memorabilia.
Not really. If I had some Final Fantasy T-shirts, like I would totally like talk about that, but I don't really have anything. I used to have a whole collection of the Dragon Ball Z VHS. I'm not really sure what happened to them, but like it was the ones where if you like put them all side by side,
it makes a picture.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Nice. For me, it's probably my arm cannons, like my Mega Man, Mega Buster, and my Proto Man, Proto Buster.
I just need something from Zero.
Screw Zero.
A Zero helmet.
he's What would I do with all that hair?
Let it flow in the wind.
Yeah, what would I do? No, I think of it. Wow.
Let it flow in the wind and just ride off in the
just stand outside and just...
Yeah, I would just have it flow and, man, it'd be like I was 25 again.
Yeah.
Cool. So, I think that wraps up our podcast for today.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. We are, if you don't know, we're Screenhops. You can follow us on Facebook at Screenhops. You can follow us on Twitter at ScreenhopsYT. We also have a Discord, and the information for that will be down there. If you enjoyed what you watched, like and subscribe. On top of that, we stream every Tuesday. We do a group stream, and right now we're starting to do other things like doing reviews on movies and video games, and slowly but surely those are coming out because they take a little bit more time with editing and writing and doing all that stuff. So, stay tuned and stay posted to what we do here. Next week, have we decided what we're going to be playing for the group stream Tuesday night?
Got Trials.
Is it Trials?
I think we said Trials, but I'm not sure if that would last for an hour.
Oh, dude, Trials would last. Trials is fun.
If we got the harder levels, yeah, it could last.
I'll work on unlocking them. But yeah. So I guess Tuesday we'll be doing Trials, the second Trials.
Or if we all do the donkey?
No, it's a unicorn.
Unicorn or donkey, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was that little tiny slide.
Yeah.
I hated that thing. I was just like, screw this. So just stay posted and give us a like and subscribe and leave a comment down below.
Subscribe.
And if there's a game you want us to play on the stream, leave a comment. Let us know what you want us to play, because we will play it.
If there are games you want us to review or movies you want us to review, send us them.
Yeah. Send us the info. We'll do it. We're crazy like that. Yeah.
I mean, maybe you're just crazy. I think I'm perfectly normal.
I'm crazy. I'm not going to lie. So that concludes our podcast. I hope you guys have an awesome week, and see y'all later.
Bye.